There are many commands and meta characters in Bash shell. In this video, I'm going to show some useful commands and meta characters. I will also show how to write and run Bash shell scripts. First, I will create a folder. So I use mkdir command. And then I'm going to use the ls command. You know, the ls command is used to see the content of a folder. If I want to see the content of etc folder, then I can type ls and then /etc. I don't want to see all the files and folders. I want to see only the files and folders that starts with the character C. So I can type in /c and then asterisk, which is a wildcard. So it will show all the files and folders in etc directory that starts with the character C. However, while accessing the files and folders, there might be some errors as well. It will show those error messages as well. As you can see, this is a file that starts with C, another file that starts with C, another. All these files are folders that are starting with C. Also, you can see there are some error messages, permission denied, could not access some other files and folders that starts with C. Now, I can redirect this output. This output came to standard output, std out, or the terminal. I can redirect this output to a file instead of showing on the terminal. To do that, I can use the redirect meta character, which is represented with a greater than sign. So I use the same command, but now I'm redirecting the output of the command to a file. Let's say I want to make a file in my home directory under the folder that I just created, and I want to give a name to this file, etc-c-files. If I press enter, it's gonna redirect the content of this command to this file. However, still the error messages are gonna show on the screen. So let's see here. Now the content that was shown before is not showing on the screen, but error messages are still here. I can redirect the error messages as well into a file, and let's say I wanna redirect the error messages into a file that will be created in my home folder. Let's say errors. The file name would be etc errors in my home directory. And to redirect the error messages, I need to use 2 before the redirect meta character. By the way, in the previous command where I redirected the output of the command to a file, I could use optional number 1 right here before the redirect meta character. So that number 1 is an optional. You can use it 1 or you can skip 1. If you skip 1, it automatically takes 1. But when you need to redirect the error messages, you must use number 2 here. Okay, now the error messages are going to go into this file, but other output of the command like files and folders are going to still show on the screen. So the error messages are not there, but it's showing all the files and folders that start with character C. I can combine the previous 2 commands. Let's say I want to redirect the files and folders. Here I'm going to use optional number 1. This is optional, but I'm still going to type it. And I'm going to redirect to a file that is located in my home directory. And then the folder name is 713. And then let's say etc-c files, and then a space. So I'm redirecting all the files and folders that starts with C into this file, and then redirecting all the errors into this file. Okay, this time nothing is going to show on the terminal screen because all of them are redirected to two different files. Now I can see the content of these files by using the cat command. Cat, let's say assignment 3, and then etc, that's the file. Now it's showing the content of the file and folder that starts with C. As you can see, also if I see the other file which was in my home directory, so not in assignment 3, but that file name was etc errors. Okay, I will see the error messages that were redirected into this file. So it's not the error of this command, but it's showing the content or the error messages that were generated in the previous ls command. Okay, and they were redirected into this file. All right, the next meta character I'm going to use is append. What append does is adds more content with existing content. I'm gonna first see the content of a file. Let's say in my home directory I have a file that called my first file. So I want to see the content of the file by using the cat command, and this is the command. So the content of the file is this one. Okay, now I want to get this content of the file and append or add with the existing content of this file. Okay, existing content of this file. So I will use this cat command, but after that command I will use the append character, which is a double greater than sign, and so the output of this command will be appended to the file that I mentioned after this append. So I want to append this with the file etc c files. etc c files content is this content, and the content of this file is this content. So etc c file will add this content after the existing content. Okay, now since I sent the command output to this file, now I will see the content of this file once again. So cat and then this file name. As you can see, at the end of the file, the content of my first file has been appended. All right, next I'm gonna use a stream editor, sed. The sed command can be used to replace a string with another string. Let's first take a look at how to use sed command. So you have to use sed and then in a single quote, S is for substitute, and then a / which string I want to substitute. Let's say I want to substitute A, and then another / I want to substitute A with B. So every time I get an A, it will be replaced with B in this example. And then another / and then I can use closing quotation mark. However, I want to get the output of a command and feed into this command. Let's say I want to see the output cat of a file that is located under my home directory, my first file. I can send the output of this cat command that shows the content of this file into this stream editor by using a pipe meta character. So the output will be fed into this stream editor, and while going through the stream editor, it will replace A's with B's. So let's see the result on the terminal. As you can see, there was A after K, which was Kali Linux, right? And that A was replaced by B. Also, there was another A here that was replaced by B. The output of the stream editor also showed in the terminal. If I want to send the output of the stream editor in a file, I can use redirector. So let's do it again for a different file. So cat, I want to use the content of a file that is in home directory under assignment 3, and then the file name is etc.c files. We'll use the pipe character and feed into stream editor SED, where I want to replace all occurrences of C with Z, and I want to do it globally. Okay, and also the output from the stream editor will go into a file. So I'm using redirector, and the file will be created into a folder under my home directory, the assignment 3 folder, and the file name would be etc.c file 1, let's say. So instead of showing on the screen as before, it's gonna go into etc.c file 1. Alright, the command was executed successfully. Next, I'm gonna do the same, but this time I am gonna use stdin meta character. So I will feed into the stream editor using stdin meta character, and the stdin meta character is represented with a less than sign. Okay, now sed command, and I want to replace all occurrences of C with Z globally, and I want to feed through stdin. So this is the stdin character, and it will come from the file in my home directory under assignment 3 folder, and then the file name is etc.c files. If I want to send the result into a file, I will use a redirector and then the file name. Let's say I want to use the file in my home directory under assignment folder, and then etc.c file 2. Let's use a dash here. Okay, so press enter. Now I can see the content of etc.c file 1 and etc.c file 2 by using cat command. So assignment 3 and then etc.c file 1. As you can see, all the C characters, like here it is C, that C was replaced with C. Remember, this file contained all the files and folder in the etc that starts with C. So there was C here, there was C here, there was C here. All of them were replaced. All C were replaced with Z, and then they were sent into file etc.c file 1 by using pipe meta character, etc.c file 2 by using std in meta character. So see the content again, it's the same. Stream editor output was sent to this file etc c file 2. All right, so I'm going to clear the screen. Next, I will use environment variable. I want to see the history of my commands. The recent commands that I started in this session will not be in the history file. They are in the memory. I can see them by using the command history. These are from my memory. The history that are saved in file, that file name or full path of the file can be found in an environment variable. Let's see the environment variable value. Echo, the variable name is hist file. That will show the file where the history will be saved. So this is the file where the history will be saved. I can see the content of this file as well as I can see the content of this file by using environment variable. So cat this file, essentially it's gonna cat this file. Okay, so that they're showing. Let's again see the file name first and then cat the file name is home ds.bash underscore history, also the same content. All right, I'm going to clear this screen once again. Next, I will use AWK scripting language. Okay, AWK can read data in different fields. So first I will prepare some data in the form of fields. I can use any editor, nano, let's use nano, and then I'm going to create a file in my home directory, my fonts. The file format I want to use will have 4 different fields and they will represent the make, price, color and weight of different fonts. So let's say the first font make is iPhone 15 Pro Max, and then I have to use a field separator, and field separator I want to use is a plus sign. So that means after this plus sign that will be another field, and the next field is the price of this font. So let's say 2250 is the price of this font, and then the next field is also separated with another plus sign. So silver is the color of this font, and then let's say the weight is 0.33. So I am using the form of fields, and there are 4 fields. They are separated with plus sign from the previous or the next one. Okay, I will make few other records like this. Alright, so I created 5 records. The first field in each record represent the name of a phone, and then a plus sign which is a separator from the next field, and the next field is price for different phones, another plus sign, next color of different fonts, another plus sign, next weight. When I'm done, I will press Ctrl X to exit. So Ctrl X on the keyboard, and it's asking whether I want to save. So I will press Y on the keyboard to say yes. It's showing the file name which I used at the beginning. I just need to press enter. So the content is saved into this file. If I want to see the content of the file, I can use cat command and then my fonts. As you can see, it's showing the content. Okay, so the file has been saved. Next, I want to awk command to retrieve some of the information from this file by providing some other information. For example, I can retrieve the price of this phone. So if I input this phone as the input and I want to see the price, I can get that by using awk. And then space dash F. So F is for field separator. Field separator is a plus sign. I'll put that in a single quote, plus sign. And then in single quote, what I want to search into this file, I want to search the first field value. So the first field is represented with $1. So the first field value would be, let's say, iPhone 15. Okay, and after finding the first field value as iPhone 15, it will show me some other field, not just the first field value, some other field, let's say the price. So I will print the second field, okay, which is price, and then close the curly bracket, close the quotation mark, and it will read from the file my fonts. Okay, that was the file name, and then press enter. So what it's going to do is going to read from this file. It will look for iPhone 15 on the first field. If it finds any record, then from that record it will show me the second field value, which is essentially the price. So there is a match, and which says iPhone 15 on the first field, and the second field value of that matching record is 1280. So the expected output is 1280. Okay, similarly, let's say I want to search the third field and the value would be black, and I want to print the first field. Okay, so it will look for black color and it will show the name of the phone. Okay, let's press enter, and as you can see here, there is a black color phone and the phone model is iPhone 15 Pro. So that's showing iPhone 15 Pro. Okay, similarly I can, let's say, find all silver color phone and give me the name or the first field of those phone. Okay, so I press enter. There are two silver color phones. One is on this record, which is iPhone 15 Pro Max. Here it is, the output. Another silver color phone is this one, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. Okay, so I will clear the screen. Next, I'm gonna create shell script and execute those script files. I'm gonna use Nano Editor again to create a file. The file name is test.sh. This is the script file name, and then I'm gonna write shell commands into this file. So for a simple example, I will use echo command, hello world. That's it, just one command. I will use another example later. So let's first see how to execute shell script. Okay, so I will exit by pressing Ctrl X, and then to save I will press Y, and keep the file name that I started with, so I'll press enter. If I execute this file, it will execute the commands that I wrote in this file, which was echo hello world. Now let's try to execute the file. To execute the file, I can type in dot / and the file name test.sh. okay, and it says permission denied. Let's see the permission of the file. So I will long list the file, and I can see that there is no execute permission. Read write, but no execute. Read write, no execute. Read, no write, no execute. So we'll add execute permission with the file. To add execute permission, I can use chmod command and then add execute with the file test.sh. okay, now let's look at file permission once again. Now I can see that read write and execute is there, X execute is there, and execute is there for owner, group, and others. I should be able to execute the file, so I will use test.sh, and now it did execute the file. It did execute the echo command, and the output of the echo command is hello world. okay, I will clear the screen. I can also execute the file by typing its full path. So home directory and then test.sh. Next, I'm going to create a script file with more commands in it. I will use for loop, I will use if else, and echo command, and so on. Let's create the file with nano editor once again. The file will be located under home directory, assignment folder, and then my first script.sh. okay, in fact I created this file before, and so I'm gonna briefly describe what I have written here. So this is a comment which starts with hash sign. So any line that starts with hash sign is a comment, so they will not be executed, they are just comment. Then I used a for loop. So for loop structure is for space a variable name. There are different options here. I used a simple structure for I in 1 2 3 4. That means it will take the I value as 1 2 and 3 and 4. So this for loop will execute 4 times basically, and then we need a do and done at the end. So let's go up. Inside I'm going to read a value from the user, so I need to use read and then a variable name. This is not the variable name. The variable name is at the end. The variable name is product here. However, when this line executes read product, it will not show anything on the screen. It will simply wait for the user input. So sometimes user will not understand what to do. So I will make a prompt. So I add -p and then a message, which is like a giving a prompt to the user. It's going to say enter a product name, for example car, computer, phone, television, and so on, and then it closes with a quotation mark. So this prompt will close with the quotation mark, and then the variable name, which is product. On the same line, it will show the prompt as well as it will take a variable input from the user. After taking the variable input, it will show on the screen top 3 manufacturer of whatever the variable input was. If the user gave car, so it will be top 3 manufacturer of car R, and then depending on the value of the variable, it will do different things. So I'm using an if-else statement, if-else statement. There are different ways you can use if-else. One way is to use double square bracket and double equal sign to compare strings. So make sure you put space after if and also after this double square bracket. Later I use single square bracket and single equal sign as well, and you need to put a space, okay, in between this square bracket and next item or the item before. Anyway, also when you use the variable name, you need to put it in quotation mark. So quotation mark the variable name product. If the user typed in car, that means if the user input is the same as car, then what it will do, it will say Tesla, GM and Ford. The loop will execute 4 times. Let's say the second time it's going to prompt again to the user, and second time the user will input as computer for the product. So it will say top 3 manufacturer of computer are, and then the user input is computer, so it will match with this line. So product is computer, they will be equal, so it will execute this line. Okay, it will not execute this echo, but it will execute this echo because the user gave computer as the input in the product variable. So that means it will say Dell, HP and Lenovo as the top 3 manufacturers of computers. Okay, if the user input doesn't match with computer but match with phone, then it will echo this line. If it matches with television, then it will echo this line. Okay, if it doesn't match any of this, then it will say not a valid input. And then we finish if else statement by using fi. Next, it's going to print a blank line, and then it will loop back to the for loop. So this for loop will execute 4 times. Okay, after you finish all this code, you need to exit by pressing Ctrl X, and then it will prompt for saving. It did not prompt me for saving because I didn't make any changes, so let's make some changes and exit. Again Ctrl X. Now it's asking if I want to save. I will press Y and then press enter. So it did save whatever I typed into this file. Now I need to give execute permission on this file. So again I will type in the chmod, and then I will give execute permission X on the file. The file is located in my home directory, assignment 3, my first file sh. Press enter. Now if I list the file permission by using ls-l command, sorry, ls-l command. Now it has execute permission. I should be able to execute this file by typing in its absolute path, which is simply starting from my home directory, assignment 3 folder, and then the file name. If I press enter, it will execute the code that I wrote inside. So let's execute the code. Enter a product name, and it's waiting for my input. When I input car, it's gonna echo 3 car manufacturers. As you can see, again it went to the loops for the second time. This time I'm gonna type in computer, showing 3 top manufacturers for computer. Next input is phone, 3 top manufacturers for phone, and then for the 4th time I'm executing the loop. So this would be the last time, television, and then it finishes. Next, if I want to see the exit code of the last program that I have executed, I can use the echo question mark. That will show the exit code. Exit code 0 means it's a normal exit. All right, Next, I'm gonna look at Linux kernel. Linux kernel is located under boot folder under the root directory. So let's say ls and boot, and after that there is the kernel starts with vm linux, and then if I press the tab key on the keyboard, it will show all options available with vm linux dash. So I'm pressing the tab key twice, and that shows all the kernel available here, but I don't know which one I am using. Okay, to see which one I am using, I can use the command uname -r. So that shows I'm using 27.1477.27.1. So out of all these three, I'm using this one, last one. Okay. Now, if I want to see more information about this kernel or this file, I can use ls dash, let's say, long list and human readable format, and then the file is located under boot, and then vmli linux. Now I can specifically type in this kernel version here, or I can use as a variable, and the previous command as a variable. So I'm going to use as a variable, so $, and then bracket uname -r. Okay, that will pick up this file. Okay, whatever the output of this command is, just this one, so that will be put in here. If I press enter, oh sorry, here is a, you need a space right here. Okay, so I missed the space, so press enter. Now it's showing the actual file for this kernel. Also it's showing the size of this file, okay, which is in megabyte. If you want to know in kilobyte, you can say 11,000, because 11 is in megabyte. All right, I want to know more information about this kernel. I can use a command hostname ctl, command hostname ctl, that will show more information about this kernel. For example, kernel major number, minor number is right here, and revision number, major number, minor number, revision number. Okay, major, minor, revision. And then the distribution name is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. There's the distribution. Also, I can see in a file, the file is located under etc, and it's called OS release. So let's see what is under etc OS release. That also shows the information, the distribution name. Okay, next I'm gonna find out what type of shell I'm using. I can use the environment variable shell to find that out. Let's clear the screen and then echo. The environment variable is shell, so that will show my current shell. I'm using a bash shell. I want to find out the process ID number of my shell. I can do that by showing the variable $, that will show the process ID number of the shell. If I want to see the parent process ID number, then I can use echo and then the environment variable is parent process ID. Okay, that shows the parent's process ID. Also, I can get the parent process ID. The ps command will show a lot of processes, but in the ps command I want to show the information for the shell, which is $, and then the output would be, so output -o ppid. All right, I can get the priority number and nice value of my shell by using the ps command, where for a specific process for my shell, and then I want to see the output of process ID, so PID, priority number, and nice value. Okay, there was some extra space here, and I need to remove those extra space. So showing process ID, priority numbers, net number here in a tabular format. Now if I want to see the process tree which leads to my shell, then I can use the ps tree command, and then it leads to my shell. Okay, so this is the ps tree. All right, I'm going to clear the screen. Next, I want to see the CPU uses by different processes. So the command would be top and then c-b, and I want to see only, let's say, first 10 processes that using the most CPU. Okay, so if I press enter, first 10, as you can see, this process is using most CPU. Also, another process used by me is using similar CPU. Now, different configuration files used in Linux environment, and configuration files ends with conf extension. Okay, let's say rsyslog daemon uses a configuration file, and the configuration file is located under etc. So let's say I want to find what are the files that are under etc, and then with conf extension, so any file .conf. Okay, there are many files here. One of them is rsyslog. Okay, this configuration file. If I see the content of this file, so I can use the cat command etc, then rsyslog.conf. Okay, and that shows the content of this file. Now if I go up, there are many lines, and the line that starts with a hash sign, those are commented out. That means they are not effective. So the lines that doesn't have a hash at the beginning of the line, those are the lines that are effective. If I increase the width of the screen, then I will see some of the lines that broken into two lines now became as a single line. Now you can see this is one line that is active in this line, so it's not a comment. Okay, next I'm gonna find my own user ID and group ID and so on. If I simply use the id command, that shows a lot of information, including my user ID, which is this one, and then my own group ID, and I am member of other groups, that is here. Okay, I can see each of them separately by using id -u for user ID as this one, the same as I saw in the id command. Also, I can see the group ID by using id-g. If I want to see the name of the group where I am a member, then I can use id-capital letter G, and that's the other groups, and the name of that group is this one. Okay, I have used different commands in Bash shell and different meta characters that are useful for administration. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching.